In this lesson, we're going to be solving for unknown angles. Hey, what's your angle? Let's write some equations to figure out missing angles. Notice y and 28 are opposite each other when two lines cross, so they're vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent. We learned that in yesterday's lesson. So we could write the equation 28 equals y, or y equals 28. Let's look at another scenario. So this time, could you write an equation to represent this relationship and also solve for x? Notice x and 42 degrees are forming a straight line in their adjacent angles. So together, they're supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. So a nice equation might be x plus 42 equals 180 degrees. Now we're going to go ahead and solve this equation by doing the same thing to both sides. So x equals 138. Okay, how about this one? Try it on your own. So notice x and 62, again, they're adjacent angles next to each other, and you can see there's a little square in the corner, which means they form a right angle together. So they're complementary. Therefore, our equation could say x plus 62 equals 90 degrees. Again, we're going to solve this by doing the same thing to both sides and find out what x is. So in this case, x is 28 degrees. All right, so if you know that angles A and B are vertical, what equation could you use to represent this angle relationship? Well, they're going to be congruent, so you would want to say A equals B. Well, what if you had two different angles, C and D, and you knew they're complementary? What equation could you use to represent this angle relationship? Well, remember, complementary angles add up to 90, so you could say C plus D equals 90. And what about two more angles, E and F? They're supplementary, and I want to know what equation you could use to represent this relationship. Well, supplementary is going to add up to 180 degrees, so we could say E plus F equals 180 degrees. All right, I want to give you one challenge problem kind of to lead into some of the harder ones you did today and ones we'll encounter tomorrow. So your challenge is to write an equation to represent this relationship and solve for W. One thing I want you to notice is that W and this unknown angle here are vertical angles. So that means that this angle is also W degrees. Then I'm going to notice that right here we have a straight line. Our straight line is formed up of two W's and a 76 degrees. So we have a W plus a W plus a 76 degrees, or 2W plus 76, and that has to equal 180. So again, I'm going to try to solve this equation by doing the same thing to both sides. So W equals 52 degrees. All right, today's goals. I can reason through multiple steps to find unknown angle measures, and I can recognize when an equation represents a relationship between those angle measures. Done and done.